It's as if the more we try to avoid our fears, the more they seem to follow us around. Have you ever thought about how facing your inner demons could be the key to spiritual growth? Carl Jung, a giant in the field of psychology, explored the depths of the human psyche. His work shows that facing our deepest fears and the darker sides of life isn't just about courage, it's a spiritual necessity. Worry is a guest that often overstays its welcome. It can either anchor us in fear or act as a catalyst for profound spiritual growth. Carl Jung, whose insights into the human condition continue to be enlightening, saw worry not just as a psychological nuisance but as a spiritual beacon, showing us the paths we're meant to explore within ourselves. Jung showed us that our worries, especially the ones that stick with us, aren't just random anxieties. They're actually messages from our soul, prompting us to focus on areas of our life and spiritual journey that we've overlooked or chosen to ignore. It's as if each worry carries a hidden seed of growth, encouraging us to explore beyond the surface-level disturbances of daily life and into the realms of our higher self and the collective unconscious. Think about the worries that keep you up at night, the fears about the future, the unresolved issues of the past, and the existential questions about purpose and existence. These aren't just distractions. They're your soul's way of saying, "Hey, it's time to embark on a journey of self-discovery and healing." Jung's view is that we should change how we think about worry. Instead of avoiding it or feeling distressed, we should be curious and engaged. But how do we know the difference between what our souls are trying to tell us and what our minds are afraid of? It all starts with some self-reflection and the courage to face our worries head-on. We need to ask ourselves what they are trying to tell us. Could a constant concern about your career actually be a deeper longing for a vocation that aligns with your soul's purpose? Could anxiety about a relationship be a sign that you need to love yourself more or think about your values and boundaries? If we take a closer look at our worries, we can see what spiritual lessons they hold, and what parts of ourselves need our attention and transformation. Jung showed us that dealing with our worries in this way isn't a passive process. It's a hands-on approach to understanding the deeper currents of our psyche and the spiritual dimensions of our existence. This means we need to think about what we're doing as well as thinking about it, taking steps to make our lives more in line with the insights and growth opportunities our worries show us. It's about using the energy of worry to fuel our spiritual awakening and guide us towards a more authentic and fulfilling existence. At its core, worry is a reminder that our souls communicate with us in different ways, encouraging us to evolve and grow. If we listen to and make sense of these messages, we can deal with the challenges of life in a more wise and meaningful way. Jung's insights show us that our worries can be seen in a new way. They're not something to get rid of, but they can help us understand ourselves better and become more spiritually enlightened. With this in mind, every worry becomes a stepping stone on the path to our true selves. Each step is an act of faith in our journey to become who we're meant to be. Carl Jung introduced the idea of synchronicity, which challenges the traditional view of coincidence. Rather than events being connected by cause and effect, he suggested they are linked by meaning. The idea behind synchronicity is that the universe is trying to communicate with us, guiding our spiritual journey through random, but meaningful events. This principle shows how our innermost desires and the universe's subtle nudges are connected. It reveals that our external reality often reflects the unresolved conflicts and deep longings of our soul. When we come across something that's a case of synchronicity, it's as if the universe is holding up a mirror to what we're dealing with inside, showing us where we need to focus our attention or take action. These meaningful coincidences aren't just random. They're like signposts pointing towards what our souls really want, encouraging us to go deeper into our spiritual journey. Jung believed that our worries, those persistent thoughts and fears that seem to come from deep within, are often signs of our soul's deeper desires or unresolved spiritual conflicts. Think about a time when you were worrying about something, and then something came up that helped you with that problem in a way that you didn't expect. This isn't just a coincidence. It's synchronicity at work, a cosmic alignment that's trying to get your attention and tell you to listen closely to your soul's desires and to resolve the spiritual dilemmas that underpin your worries. When we recognize these signs and engage with them, we gain new insights into our worries and take meaningful steps towards fulfilling our spiritual destiny. So, facing our worries is an important part of our spiritual journey. It means being open to messages from the universe, interpreting them with wisdom and courage, and acting on them in a way that aligns with our soul's purpose. Facing our worries and understanding them better helps us grow as people and awaken our spirits. It also helps us connect with the universe and feel more in tune with everything around us. Basically, synchronicity and our soul's desires go hand in hand. Our worries can be a great motivator, helping us to achieve our spiritual potential. Jung's concept encourages us to see our life events, especially those that cause us the most anxiety, as part of a larger meaningful pattern that guides our spiritual growth. By embracing this perspective, we open ourselves to the transformative power of synchronicity. It can lead us on a path filled with discovery, fulfillment, and alignment with our true spiritual essence. Carl Jung's work delving into the depths of the human psyche brought forth the concept of the shadow self, a groundbreaking insight that underscores the importance of embracing our inner darkness as a crucial step towards spiritual wholeness. This shadow self is where we keep the parts of ourselves we don't want to face, like our fears, weaknesses, and unmet desires. Jung believed that acknowledging and integrating this shadow is not just about being self-aware. It's a spiritual journey that helps us achieve a state of completeness and harmony within ourselves. Jung's theory shows that our lives are a mix of light and dark. You can't have one without the other, and you have to accept both if you want to grow. This duality isn't just a personal thing. It's part of how the universe works. It says that evil is an essential part of the cosmic balance. From this point of view, the shadow self and the acknowledgement of evil in the world are not outliers, but fundamental aspects of the spiritual journey. They offer opportunities for growth, understanding, and ultimately transformation. Not paying attention to or denying this dark side has some pretty serious spiritual consequences. Jung said that if we don't acknowledge our shadows, they can control us from deep within, influencing our actions and choices in ways that we're not aware of. Not facing our inner darkness can lead to a fragmented existence, marked by spiritual dissonance and a lack of authenticity. On the other hand, facing our shadow, no matter how tough or uncomfortable it might be, opens the door to a genuine spiritual awakening. It helps us to get along with all parts of ourselves, which brings about a deep sense of inner peace and a kind, understanding way of looking at the human condition. To embrace the shadow, you have to be willing to face your deepest fears and accept yourself completely, warts and all. This journey into our inner selves is not something we can do alone. It's a universal struggle between light and darkness, good and evil. When we acknowledge and integrate our shadow, we're taking a big step towards spiritual courage. It means accepting that we need to embrace our whole selves, not just the parts we think are okay or good. Jung's insights into the shadow self provide a helpful guide for navigating the spiritual duality that defines our existence. They encourage us to see our personal and collective shadows not as things to get rid of, but as an important part of our spiritual journey. When we accept the darkness as part of spiritual wholeness, we can have a more compassionate, understanding, and a more unified world. With Jung's guidance, we learn that by embracing our shadows, we step into the light of spiritual maturity, ready to face the world and ourselves with an open heart and a profound sense of inner unity. It's not just about finding quick fixes or stress relief when we engage with our worries from a spiritual perspective. It's a deep journey towards enlightenment that's firmly rooted in Jungian psychology. Carl Jung's concept of individuation, the process of becoming aware of oneself and integrating the unconscious with the conscious, including the shadow self, offers a transformative framework for understanding and utilizing our worries as catalysts for spiritual growth. In Jungian terms, worries aren't just everyday anxieties. They're signs that there are deeper, unresolved issues in our psyche, and that there are areas of our lives that need our attention and integration to achieve true wholeness. By facing these concerns head-on, we embark on the path of individuation, where every fear and anxiety becomes an opportunity to confront and integrate aspects of our shadow into our conscious life. Recognizing and embracing our darker selves not only makes worries less powerful, but also shows us the way to a richer, more spiritually enlightened existence. Practices inspired by Jung, such as meditation, dream analysis, and active imagination, are great tools for this transformative process. Meditation helps us create a space of silence and awareness where we can observe our worries without judgment. This allows us to understand their origins and what they signify about our inner conflicts and desires. Dream analysis is a great way to get insights into our unconscious thoughts and feelings. It can help us understand our worries and the shadow they represent. With active imagination, we can talk to different parts of ourselves, even the parts we're afraid to face. This helps us work through our issues and come to a place of resolution. These practices, based on Jung's work, are more than just worry management. They turn worries into spiritual insight, showing us how our psyche and the universe work. This process of engaging with worry can be seen as a spiritual discipline, a conscious effort to gain deeper insights into ourselves and our place in the cosmos. It's a journey that leads to moments of enlightenment, where we realize that everything is connected and that our worries, once understood and integrated, can become sources of strength, wisdom, and inner peace. By looking at our worries through the eyes of Jungian ideas and doing exercises based on his work, we're not just dealing with our anxieties. We're going through a deep process of self-discovery and spiritual awakening. This path of facing our worries and working through our shadows paves the way for a more enlightened way of living. It means we can live in harmony with ourselves and the world around us, embracing the full spectrum of human experience with openness and compassion. Carl Jung also looked into the depths of the human psyche and found the idea of the collective unconscious. This is a shared reservoir of experiences and archetypes that we inherit as a species, not just as individuals. This idea shows us that our deepest spiritual fears, concerns, and the journeys we go on are no just for ourselves. They are connected to each other through this collective unconscious, and they bind us together in a vast shared quest for enlightenment. It's comforting to know that our individual spiritual journeys are part of something bigger. It gives us a sense of unity. It's reassuring to know that the concerns we have, the challenges we face, and the enlightenment we seek are experiences that many people across the globe can relate to. This connection goes beyond time, culture, and personal identity. It suggests that the spiritual challenges we face are not just personal trials but are part of the human experience and our collective spiritual heritage. When we see that we're all on a similar spiritual path, it changes how we think about and deal with our problems. It helps us see our fears as part of a bigger picture, not just something that we're struggling with on our own. This way of thinking helps us feel connected to others and more understanding of their experiences. It's really comforting and motivating to know that we're not alone in our quest. It encourages us to share our experiences, learn from the wisdom of others, and contribute our own insights, which helps us all gain a deeper understanding. Moreover, recognizing our connection through the collective unconscious can inspire us to look beyond our individual concerns and see the broader implications of our spiritual growth. As we work through our concerns and pursue enlightenment, we play a role in the collective evolution of consciousness. This not only benefits us, but also has a positive impact on humanity as a whole. When we embrace the idea of the collective unconscious and our shared spiritual journey, we find a great way to combat the isolation and fragmentation that often come with worry. This understanding gives us hope and reminds us that we're all connected, encouraging us to move forward with courage and compassion. It gives us peace of mind that our efforts to understand and overcome our fears are part of something much bigger and more meaningful. It's a collective journey towards awakening and unity that goes beyond the limits of our individual lives. To navigate the landscape of worry with a spiritual compass, we need tools that help us engage with our concerns in a constructive and healing way. Bringing Jungian spiritual practices into our daily lives is a great way to not only understand our worries, but also to turn them into opportunities for growth and self-discovery. These practices, which are based on mindfulness, reflection, and creative expression, encourage us to explore our psyche and discover the spiritual insights hidden within our worries. Mindfulness is a key practice that teaches us to observe our worries without judging them or reacting immediately. When we cultivate a mindful presence, we learn to detach from the constant stream of thoughts in our minds and see our worries as clouds passing by in the sky of our consciousness. This doesn't mean we're turning our backs on things, but it does give us a better way to understand what's really worrying us. Another great tool is reflection on synchronicities. Jung's concept of synchronicity, meaningful coincidences that hint at a deeper order to the universe, encourages us to look for signs and patterns in our lives that may be guiding us toward resolution or insight. If we pay attention to these things, we can start to see that our worries are connected to a larger, more mysterious existence, which offers us direction and reassurance. Keeping a dream journal gives you a direct line to the unconscious mind, where worries often show up in symbols. Jotting down our dreams can help us understand the deeper issues that cause us stress when we're awake. It can also show us what we need to work on. It's also worth noting that engaging with spiritual communities can be a great way to explore and integrate the spiritual lessons that our worries hold for us. These communities, whether you're in traditional religious settings, meditation groups, or online forums, offer a sense of belonging and shared purpose that can be really comforting and empowering. Therapy, especially when it's based on Jungian principles, provides a structured way to untangle the complex web of thoughts and emotions that make up our worries. A good therapist can help us face our inner demons, bring our different sides together, and find meaning in the challenges we face. Finally, art is a great way to express and explore our worries in a tangible form. Art in any form, painting, writing, music, etc., can be a great way to work through and understand the emotional energy tied to our worries. If we make these practices part of our daily routines, we'll have a great set of tools for not just managing worry, but engaging with it in a way that helps us grow spiritually and become more enlightened. As we learn to navigate our worries with mindfulness, reflection, and creativity, we transform our relationship with anxiety. We start to see it as an opportunity for deep personal transformation and a reminder of our shared human journey. As we explore the landscapes of our psyche, Carl Jung's insights act as a guiding light, showing us how to embrace worry as more than just anxiety. It's a spiritual practice. When we face our inner darkness and the shadows that surround our fears, we open the door to profound, personal, and collective spiritual growth. This isn't just about facing our worries. It's about seeing them as part of our journey towards enlightenment. Jung said we need to face up to the darkness within and around us. Only by doing this can we connect with the divine and realize our full spiritual potential. So I encourage you to look closely at your worries, see what you can learn from them, and share your stories of discovery and transformation. Together, let's turn our anxieties into stepping stones on our path to spiritual awakening.